Hi Pisces. Hopefully the video and the audio sync up for you guys. I've worked on getting that fixed in several different ways. So hopefully it's working. If it's not, I don't want to use my phone because you can't see the cards when I use my phone. So anyway, we're going to do it even if it doesn't sync up. How are you guys doing? A lot of water energy going on right now. You may really be in your feels. I kind of feel like some of you are really, really in your feels. Might even be up in your head. It's so funny with the 5 of Swords and then we have the 6 of Swords. So it's like, I feel like you're moving away from some kind of deception. This could be a thought process that you had of the way that you thought things were supposed to go. And either somebody else deceived you or maybe you were just deceiving yourself. And because it doesn't look exactly how you thought it would look. And then we have Temperance. Yep. The Tower. And the 2 of Cups. So there is this very real, very strong, very spiritual connection. Could be with the Sagittarius or Scorpio. I don't feel like it's something happened to make you realize, oh, that's not the way that this was supposed to go. Or that's not the person I'm supposed to be with. Or I thought it was supposed to look a different way. And because now I'm kind of coming to a mental clarity and truth about it, you're recognizing not where you went wrong, but how you maybe were just looking at things in a box. You know, like you were putting the situation or the person in a box. I want it to look this certain way. I want it to be with this person. Your expectations of the outcome of the situation were a little too rigid. And now, because you held on to it for so long, the Tower shows up, right? And the Tower doesn't have to be total destruction. It doesn't have to be like the sky is falling, right? The Tower can be a conversation, something very uncomfortable, but it's an energy shift. But it's to put you back on track to where you're supposed to go. So maybe this wasn't this person you were supposed to be with. That's okay. There are other people out there. I know sometimes it doesn't feel like it. I know sometimes you feel like you're waiting and waiting and waiting for that right person to show up. And they never do, but it's coming. This could also be that somebody showed up in your life and shocked the hell out of you. And it was kind of like, oh man, okay, new energy. But I think that your whole viewpoint, your whole thought process of what the 10 of Cups is, what that happily ever after is supposed to look like, I feel like in November, that's totally changing, right? Now, Jupiter moving into Sagittarius is a really big deal for everyone because Jupiter feels at home in Sagittarius. Just like Saturn moving into Capricorn really helped us work with our karma and really helped us look at things in a different light and to be able to like fix old things that were kind of coming back. Jupiter in Sagittarius is very lucky, but Jupiter's benevolence in Sagittarius only goes as far as the work that you do. Like, it's not just a handout, right? You're not just going to be handed $1 million unless you buy the lottery ticket. Like, everybody's like, why am I not a millionaire? Well, did you work for it? Did you buy the lottery ticket? I mean, yeah, some people get inheritance. I get that. But that's a small percentage of us. Jupiter's asking you to do the work so that it can be benevolent to you. And we have Mars coming into your sign as well in November. Mercury will also be in retrograde in Sagittarius, so communication could really be off. I feel like November is going, because I like Mars in Pisces. A lot of people say that there's like a detriment to Mars in Pisces because Mars is like super action oriented. I feel like it gives us more of a chance to reflect on what it is that we want to do, what we want to take action on. It gives us a chance to take all of those because, you know, Neptune is still in your sign. So all of these dreams, these decisions, these daydreams, these wants, these desires that we really want to have, Mars gives us the soft edges in Pisces. You know, Mars has the softer edges in Pisces in order for us to go for things in not such a direct fighting kind of way, right? And I think if you take that Mars energy and you use it for good instead of feeling like because it could make you very, very anxious. When Mars goes into Pisces, if you allow it to overcome your energy, it can make you very, very anxious. So instead of doing that, if you let it come in and you give it the soft edges and you say, okay, universe, what is it? What is it here? What are my creative challenges I have that I can take forward now? Let's see what this Five of Swords is, this deception. Is it a deception of your own mind, or is it a deception? See, I feel like it was you. I feel like you kind of duped yourself into thinking that things were supposed to be one way, and now the Tower shows up and you're having to start all over again. The Three of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. It's like I was waiting for this opportunity to come into my life, this person to come into my life. I was waiting for them to show up, or I was waiting for this job to show, or something to show up to give me my happily ever after, and it didn't come the way that I thought it was supposed to. And this usually happens when the universe has a completely different idea for us, right? We need course correction. The Tower is always course correction. So you're having to rebuild. And I think that I feel like the Six of Swords is almost kind of that Mars energy in Pisces. It's giving you a chance to take all of that stuff that you've been thinking and come into a much calmer, cleaner, less rocky, less harsh place of action, right? Because the Six of Swords is an action card. Even though it is swords and it is thoughts, this person is moving from rough waters into calmer waters. It's action oriented. So let's see what the Six of Swords is for you. I feel like it's not even a choice. Like this isn't even a choice, because you don't want to you're moving away from the Five of Pentacles. You don't want to be in a lack mentality anymore. You don't want someone else to make you feel like you're lacking in some way. You don't want to allow others' energies to affect you in a way that makes you feel pained, hurt, deceived. Because, and even yourself, like you don't want your own energy to deceive you anymore. You don't want to be in this Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles state. The sense of lack and unsurety. And so you could be dealing with a Sagittarius with Temperance here, but I also feel like this is like really you needing to make a decision either about a Sagittarius or I feel like a lot of you are needing to balance out, like, where do I belong within my spiritual self versus the material world? Because if you think about it, she's here, this angel and the Temperance card is finding balance, right? With the Two Cups in her hand. She's balancing things out. And pouring water in between the two of them. It's like both the water is connected between those two cups in that card, and it's a balancing of the energies, right? And this guy here is balancing his pentacles. So it's almost like, where am I balancing myself within my existence, within my spiritual existence, and what does that mean to me versus my material world? And what decisions do I need to make in order to keep tempered, to keep that balance, to keep that centered? You know, because you want to have this Two of Cups connection. You want to have this 10 of Cups, happily ever after life. And because you're already feeling like you duped yourself or the universe duped you, let's not go there. The universe didn't do anything. The universe is not in the business of making us unhappy. Like, that is not what Source is all about. That's not what the universe is all about. The universe is here to give us the gifts. We just have to be open to receiving them. And the only way we can be open to receiving them is not being blindfolded. Two of Swords. Are you lying to yourself that something needs to crumble? Are you still in the stagnant place and blindfolded and lying to yourself about what needs to fall by the wayside? Because a lot of times, and I feel like this kind of connection that's coming on extremely strongly for me is, or the feeling that I'm getting here is like, for example, you believe that you're in a twin flame connection, or you're a twin flame with somebody, or somebody is your twin flame, and you recognize, well, that person's energy is actually extremely toxic for me. And I can't even go about my day, my every single day, like living out my every single day without feeling this hurt and pain and heartache and feeling stuck and stagnant. Right? And the Tower is trying to come in and say, you're not supposed to feel like that in any relationship, in any connection. Sometimes a twin flame connection comes along in order, and this isn't necessarily just a twin flame reading. This is just kind of that energy that I'm feeling that somebody out there like is possibly recognizing or needs to recognize and just hasn't yet, but probably will eventually, that this toxic energy was probably brought into your life in order to trigger certain things about you, to heal about yourself. It's not necessarily your happily ever after. Because a lot of times people who we think are our twin flames, or, you know, even if we are a twin flame, like maybe you're not even a twin flame, but you've been caught up in the whole mainstream idea of what a twin flame experience is. And it, you know, you have watched video after video after video, right? And now you're recognizing, oh, well, that actually doesn't resonate with me at all. Or that's what you're needing to recognize. Because you're trying to fit things into your life, and the Tower's like, stop trying to fit things, stop trying to put a puzzle together. It's like you have two different puzzles, and all the pieces are mushed together, and you're trying to fit two different puzzles, you know, two different types of puzzles together, and they're not fitting. Right? And the Tower's like, no, it's time for course correction. But you're not recognizing that it's two different puzzles that you're putting together. And that's why the pieces aren't matching up. That's why it's not happening for you. That's why it's not like working in your favor. Because your idea of the 10 of Cups, of the happily ever after, was one thing. And that's shifting in November. Because now you're having to look at it in a completely different way. And wow, was that really the... And even if it's not that... I mean, yes, maybe that person is your twin flame. Or yes, maybe that is your life partner. Maybe that is your soulmate who you're supposed to be with. But they're not showing up in the way that you needed them to right now. So they have to go off on their own, right? This soulmate connection, or whatever connection it is for you, they have to go now off on their own and stop giving you the bad juju. They need to find themselves and come back after they found themselves. They need to come back after they've rebuilt everything, right? Within them. Just like you had to rebuild, and possibly are still rebuilding. I mean, you guys have been through a building phase, just like your opposite sign Virgo has been through a building phase for 2 years or longer. I mean, it's been lesson after lesson after lesson, tower after tower after tower. And if you don't release that energy, if you don't allow the Tower to come in and wipe everything clean so you can start all over again, start fresh all over again, it's just going to keep on happening. It's going to keep on coming to you. And that's not what you really want, right? Yeah. See, this relationship that you were in, or this connection that you were in, possibly a Sagittarius. We have the Knight of Wands, still the Sag card. It was like one day it was good and the next day it was bad. And then for another day it was good. And then for a week it was bad. I mean, like, it was never consistent. It was never a constant energy in your life that you could count on. And that's where we have to allow ourselves to shift the energy. That's, you know, after the Tower comes the Wheel of Fortune. But are you going to allow the Wheel of Fortune into your reading? Are you going to allow that shift of energy to come in? Because it's not here yet. But because you're sitting in a lack mentality and you've been waiting and waiting and waiting for one certain outcome to show up or one certain person to show up and they're just not doing it, to find your happily ever after, Ace of Cups on the 10 of Cups. Are you kidding me? That shows that makes an 11. 11 cups there, kids. Like talking about twin flames, right? The 11. The only way to get to the 10 of Cups happily ever after is starting with yourself. You start with one cup and you fill that one all the way to the top until it's overflowing. And then you let all of that overflowing energy start falling into the other 9 cups. And that's how you get 10, right? But you always keep that Ace of Cups with you. You don't give it away to all 10 cups. You want to make it to the 11 cups. So always keeping that Ace of Cups with you, right? This 2 of Cups here, each person has their own cup. And both of those cups are full before they come together. You can't have an energy that's in and out and in and out and in and out and expect for your cup to be totally full. The only way you get to this Ace of Cups status is if you release the negative energies that are holding you back, holding you down. You looking at yourself and becoming centered within yourself. You getting into this temperance, this very esoteric, very loving part of yourself. And once you do that, once we have this, right? Once we get there, clarity, the Sun, Queen of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, Judgment, Queen of Cups, 6 of Cups, and there's that fire sign again, but they're showing up in a much better way. So let's do this, and then we'll do the fire sign. Well, they're kind of showing up in a much better way. I think that you're still a little bit up in your head about it or wondering about this person. So as we move into November, getting towards the end of November, there's a lot of clarity and discernment that you're finding on where you need to place your energy, right? The Sun, the Queen of Swords, and the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles for me is, where are you putting your energy? Are you giving it to people, places, and things that are of value to you, that are going to give you back in return? Or are you just giving all of your energy away to people that don't resonate with you? But it's almost like you want to heal them, and so you keep giving and giving and giving and giving. When you stop doing that, do they get angry with you? Do they say it's your fault that they're feeling the way that they're feeling? That's gaslighting. That's narcissism, right? We don't want that. That's what we're trying to get away from. If there's an air sign in your life that you're becoming very clear on, that there's not necessarily a give and take in this relationship, doesn't have to be a Queen of Swords. It can be a King of Swords. This is a general reading, right? It may not resonate with everyone, but, and it also doesn't even have to be an air sign. I feel like this is just a person that's like very, very strict with how they say, like, this is the way it's almost like they're the one that makes the decision on how things are going to go. So either I feel like you're taking on this air sign quality where you're like, no, I'm finding clarity here. I'm going to make the decision. This is where I'm going to put my energy. I feel like you need to be very discerning about that. Or you're dealing with a person who is dictating to you on where you should be putting your energy. That's something that we need to let go of. I feel like the confusion of where you need to hold on to things in your life and where you need to let go is very, very, this is why you need to be discerning. Because I think that you could easily fall back into no, 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 I'm not ready. I'm not ready to let go of it. So I'm going to be the miserly Four of Pentacles here, and I'm going to hold on to all of my pentacles, and I'm not going to let go. I'm not going to let go. I'm not, like, I feel like the Four of Pentacles for me is like that little kid that's holding on to a toy really, really tightly, like, don't take my toy away. You know what I mean? And being really, really stubborn about it. But if you sit in a Four of Pentacles state, nothing else can come in. You're not allowing the universe space to bring anything else into you. That guy's got to let go of something so he can grab something else, right? So I think that you could easily, especially with Mars coming into Pisces, like I said, there could be this anxiety that comes over you because you're like feeling like you need to be action oriented in something, but you're not really sure where to place those energies. So get very discerning. If you keep reminiscing on the past about a fire sign, it's time to release that. Because because the past is the past. Judgment for me is like, be present, be in the now. It's a call to action to release all of the things that have happened in the past. It's a call to action to really allow yourself to heal from whatever it is that this soulmate connection was, or this thing that you really, really, really wanted and you really thought was going to turn out in a different way. And just because it didn't turn out the way that you thought it was going to turn out, it doesn't mean you're not going to end up happily ever after. You had one idea of what you thought happily ever after is, and the universe has another idea. You don't want to be with somebody who's going to continuously make you miserable. And you think, oh no, they'll change. Maybe, but that's not up to you to do. You can't change a person. Only the universe can do that. And sometimes the only way for the universe to change a person is if you let go of them. Because if they know that you're still holding space for them, they know that they can keep coming back and treating you the same way over and over and over again. Right? And that is a vicious cycle that nobody needs to be in. Right? So I feel like this fire energy that is around you, it's time to trim the fat because it's taking up mental space. Right? I have the Queen of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords for me is trimming the fat, cutting things out of your life. And even if this person isn't like physically present in your life anymore, they're still taking up space. They're still taking your energy. And so it's time to, if they're not physically, in your life, it's time to start removing those energy cords, whether it's in your mind, whether it's in your heart, whether it's in your solar plexus. A lot of people attach energy cords to our solar plexus chakras, and it affects our willpower. It affects our drive. And with Mars and Pisces, you guys are going to have a lot of drive to do things. You want to be able to have this Jupiter benevolence come in as well, right? This Jupiterian energy that you can feed off of for the next year. So, a lot of drive, a lot of passion. I think that you guys are coming to a better place towards the end of November. The beginning of November looks a little rough. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. You guys know that I'm like extremely straightforward about my readings and the energy. And I feel like the reason why the beginning of November is a little bit more rough than towards the end of November is because you still have some things that you have to clear away in order for the universe to come in. And judgment is saying it's time. And if you keep holding on to that, this tower is going to keep showing up. So hopefully in the second half reading of November, this tower is not here anymore and you guys have all released stuff. Fingers crossed. Let's hope, right? I love you guys so, so much. 2019 personal readings are now available. I'm only doing a limited amount. So the reason why I'm offering them now is because I want to make sure I get all of them out by the end of the year. They're already being bought up pretty quickly. So go to my website. I'm offering 6-month readings and 12-month readings. Go to my website and fearlessintuition.net. Also, if you are a Scorpio Sun sign, cross-watching you can get the birthday special. It's $50 off the 1 hour FaceTime reading. It doesn't have to be FaceTime. It can be Skype. I also done recorded readings for people and sent them, you know, especially in those who are in India. I'm sorry, not India, Dubai. Anything else? Nope, I think that's it. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful beginning of November. I'll see you for the soulmate love readings and the second half. Bye.